Welcome back to Arabian Property Pulse. This week we have a very special episode. Instead of the usual situation where I'll talk about a topic of interest in Qatar or Dubai or the overall Middle East in regards to real estate, it actually contains a presentation I did last week at the Qatar Real Estate Forum that was part of the Cityscape Qatar event held in Doha last week, the second week of October 2025. In the presentation, which you'll soon hear, I talk about investors' checklist when looking at investing in the country and some features of the country, some regulatory issues, as well as things you want to look at when considering investing. The quality of the audio is not quite to the level that we'd like it to be, so I hope it's okay for you. Please bear with us on the quality of the audio and enjoy the show. Take care.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making it to, I think, is the penultimate session of this wonderful Cityscape and the Real Estate Investment Forum that you're part of today. I just first of all wanted to thank Akarat for inviting me to speak to you today. Again, a bit of an introduction to myself. Today's idea is to give you some practical advice about investing in our wonderful country. I'm a chartered financial analyst, hence the CFA title, and managing director of NelsonPark Property, as well as a co-founder of Society International Real Estate. Just a little bit of self-promotion about our company, in case you don't know who we are. We've recently been awarded 3 fantastic awards as the best real estate agency in Qatar, along with the best real estate agency for marketing in Qatar. And I'm very pleased to join me today is Bea Laoui, who is our best agent in Qatar, as awarded by the International Property Awards. And for our competitors, I have bad news. I still live in Qatar. For those that continue to tell people that I've left, and for our customers, I have good news. I'm still in Qatar, as is my team. And I'm very proud of the team that we have, that we've assembled, many of which are with us today. And I've now been living in Doha for just past 19 years last week. I just celebrated my 19th anniversary in the country, and my plan is to be here for a very long time. I absolutely love Qatar. My children were raised here. They've now moved on to other things as they've grown up, but very proud to be part of Qatar's story, that small little part that I played as part of it. And I wanted to again thank NelsonPark Property, my team, for all the good work that they do. So what I want to share with you today, I appreciate we're getting near the end of the day. You've probably seen a lot of different things. Just to give you an idea of why I think Qatar is the perfect place to invest and some of the things you want to be thinking about when investing in the country. So number one, I think this is the far and away the number one thing about Qatar, which I love, is the economic stability and diversification. The economic fundamentals of Qatar are unbelievable. We look at the financial resources that are within the country. As a major gas exporter to the world, one of the number 1 or number 2, depending on how you do the measurements, is the fact of a country of the size that we are and the population that we are, that Qatar has achieved these things, the amount of gas they've been able to export, achieve the awards they've been able to achieve, and everything that's happened as part of it. It's really incredible. And if I'm an investor, which I am, and I'm looking to investing in the country, to me, the economic stability of the country is absolutely paramount. If I look at the rental yields in Qatar, they're very strong, averaging 6 to 7%, depending on the property you're looking at invest in. Very good numbers. If you're looking at central London, 2 to 3%. Qatar, double that. Much better investment to have a look at. Again, the long-term investment in infrastructure. If we look back at the last 10 years, the amount of investment that the country has done into infrastructure, mainly in preparation for the World Cup, that was done. And I think that basically the amount of infrastructure that was built over the last 10 years was taking about 25 years and push it together in a very short period of time. That's why we have the excellent infrastructure that we have, and makes Qatar a very livable country and Doha an incredible city to live in. As we move along, I may be talking about some of our neighbors of recent times, but one thing I love about Qatar is it's extremely stable. We don't see a boom-bust scenario that we see in other countries, right? Things may not boom as high, they're more steady. Equally, we don't see the crashes that other economies see. And we see what's happening right now and some of the predictions that we're seeing in my country, in Canada, what we're seeing in the US, and some of the things that are happening in Western Europe. I look at the stability of Qatar, and that gives me great confidence in the future. Many years ago, I was at a dinner party, and someone said to me, "Why would you invest in Qatar?" Well, zero tax. Zero tax is amazing. You know what's great about zero? It's zero. It's not 10%, it's not 20, it's not 30, it's not 40. In my country, we have 50% tax. It's zero. Zero personal income tax. You take all of your numbers in different countries and you add the tax, and most investors don't consider the tax when they invest. When you do it here, you know it's zero. It helps your returns tremendously. And again, very investor friendly. You have a multilingual society, very multicultural society. Across, even of our team of about 50 people, we have 22 different nationalities within the country, and I think that makes it very friendly for everyone who lives here and that works here. And again, a well-regulated industry, the combination of Ministry of Justice and the Real Estate Regulatory Authority of Qatar, and the work that they are doing in the market is really incredible. And I think they'll continue to help the market as we move forward. When we look at the investor's situation, the investor's mindset, this is my personal advice to investors. Normally when I'm talking to my team, we're talking about our role as agents and what we do. Today gives me a great chance to talk directly to people as investors and what they're looking at. And what I really ask you to look at is look at the income, the appreciation, residency, or diversification of your asset and what you're looking to do. Again, I'd really encourage people to look at long-term goals. When you're looking to invest, and this is, I'm actually going to jump to my summary and I'll come back to it again, is the biggest thing I'll say is Qatar is the perfect market if you're looking for stable long-term investment. If you're looking to make a quick buck, if you're looking to flip a property and try to make 10% overnight, I would say that's not a great strategy anyways, and I don't think that's the right market. But if you're looking for good, long-term, stable cash flows, long-term capital appreciation, this is absolutely a great market for you. Again, you want to base our decisions on research, not on emotion. There's a wonderful phrase in sales that people decide with their hearts and then rationalize with your head. It's a hard thing to do, but what you want to try to do your best is use your head at all times in making your decisions, right? Again, you want to prepare, don't predict. And so I look at a couple of the key markets, and again, with the short period of time we have today, I can't go into a lot of detail. So when I'm looking at the market today, I look at Lusail City. I think Lusail has tremendous upside. If I look at the 19 years that I've been here and how much Lusail has grown, when I arrived, and I think for a lot of you when you arrived, Lusail was purely desert. And the work that's gone on over the last 19 years to really develop Lusail City and all is part of it. And I think it's really just starting. There's so much more development to go on. Looking at the Pearl and West Bay, luxury lifestyle, good returns, probably not seeing quite the capital up growth that people would like to see. I think you'll see more of that in Lusail down the line as that community continues to grow. And what's really interesting, we have some great projects now in Wakra, where we're selling villas off-plan and completed villas, and we're seeing a lot of growth in that area. So it's again, if I go back even 10 years, I don't think Wakra was on many people's investment horizon on their outlook for the country. What we're looking at now, a lot more people are considering Wakra, and Al Khor down the line, I think will be an interesting market to keep an eye on. So what's our legal framework? Obviously, for country nationals, you can buy everywhere. It's obvious. For expatriates, there's a lot of areas you can buy in. A lot of people think it's just the Pearl. It's not. There's freehold areas. The Pearl, Lusail, West Bay Lagoon, Daphna. In fact, there's 17 areas across the country that you can invest in. You can reach out to us and we can help you, guide you through the different areas that you can invest. These are the main ones when people think of investing. This is the projects you've seen are mainly in these areas, but there are quite a few different places that you can invest in. Again, you can look at obtaining residency through investment as low as $200,000 or 730,000 rials, with added benefits above $1 million or 3.65 million rials as well. There's different options that are available to you. And I know there are some changes just announced even in the last few days that you're able to obtain title deeds on off-plan properties. A year or two ago, that was impossible. This is a major improvement to the regulatory framework and will give a lot of opportunities for those who are looking to invest. A lot of our expatriate buyers are really looking to invest into the market, looking for RPs for them and their families, and I think this is a major improvement. We're also seeing within our company now, and it's not a huge amount yet, but I think it'll be more and more coming, is people that have moved to the region and they spend a lot of time in the region, they're comfortable, maybe they live in the West or they're from different parts of the world, they've come to the region, they're loving it, but they said, you know what, I want to move my family to Doha. And we're seeing a lot of that now where people that are living in other parts of the region have decided to come here, bring their families here. Again, I mentioned earlier on, I raised my family here and I thought it was a wonderful place to raise my daughters, and I think it's a great environment for those who are looking to do the same. Again, a little advice again, make sure you verify the title, you register officially, And a small little plug, make sure that the agency you're working with is regulated, that they have a license to operate. You should ask to see their brokerage license. Ours, number 90, we're one of the first companies that was officially registered as a licensed real estate brokerage in Qatar. Make sure your company that you're working with is that. There are a lot of freelance people in the market, a lot of people that are not registered, a lot of companies that are not registered. You want to make sure you're working with someone that is. Okay, so again, looking at your financial planning, really you want to take an account of how you're spending your money, looking at the registration fees, the title deed fees. Most people don't use a lawyer. In most countries, you have to have a lawyer to do a sale. In Qatar, you don't. But if you do want to consider using a lawyer, you want to look at the fees for that, talk to different lawyers, get an idea what the prices are going to be, your valuations and service fees, what your mortgage fees are going to be, and insurance costs as well. I think one of the things that a lot of people do not do in Qatar, and I'm guilty of this myself recently, but I've changed that, is making sure that when you own a property, and even when you're a tenant, make sure you have insurance on your property, and make sure you have contents insurance. You want to make sure that's part of your algorithm, part of your thinking as you go through, that you're making that happen. Again, looking at the maintenance and furnishing costs, when a lot of times when people are looking to buy a property, they think, okay, I'll spend 1.2 million, I'll buy this property, I'll rent it out for 8,000 per month, and that's going to be my return. They forget about the other charges. And there isn't really hidden charges, but they want to make sure they're looking at the service fees, but also maintenance that will need to be done on the property to keep it up and to keep it going well into the future. You always want to be thinking about that. And again, this is a really important thing. Your broker should advise you of this. Our brokers will, but make sure you ask for this. You want to see, if you're buying an investment property that's already built, that already has a tenant, you want to make sure you have a copy of the current lease. With all respect to brokers in the market, do not take the broker's word for it, that this is how the property is and this is the rental amount. Make sure you actually get a copy of the lease. Make sure you get a copy of the current service charges, right? Because service charges do vary between buildings, depending on the area, depending on the size of the building, the number of floors, everything that goes along with it. Ask to see a copy of the service charges so you don't have any nasty surprises. I don't know, I always find when charges come along, this is an area that when Qatar Cool first came in, or matter of fact, in the sale, it's often quite understood how much those charges are and what the relationship is between capacity and consumption. And some newcomers as well, you want to check them out, you want to feel comfortable with them, ask them about projects they've done in the past, what their standing is, because it's really important, right? Probably see on TLC and different networks that we have here, there's a lot of great shows about people buying property, fixing them, and selling them. Again, you want to evaluate what's your strategy, what do you want to do? I'll tell you, when it comes to construction, that's not my thing. I'm not an expert at all in it. I never want to do a project. Fixing a place up is one thing, but doing a flip, that's not my strategy. I have good friends, that's all they do. They're really good at it. I'm not. You want to look at the things, what are you good at? Were you comfortable? What's your team good at? Maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your family partner or a business partner, whoever it is. Find out what their skill sets are, what they bring to the party as well. But you want to choose what your path is and make that decision. So there's an old phrase which is flip for income and hold for wealth, right? So you watch these shows where they're flipping properties. It's basically a job, right? They go in, they take the property, they buy it, they take it under contract, they spend a lot of money, they fix it up, hopefully they sell it for more, and they make a profit on it. It's like having a job. It's a good job. They could pay a lot of money if you do it well, but it's a job nonetheless. If you want real wealth, it's done by holding property long term. So is one strategy better than the other? No, they're just different. You have different strategies. You have ones that you're comfortable with, ones that other people are comfortable with. Find the one that works best for you and stick with that strategy. And again, I would really recommend reinvest your rental income. Don't be tempted, if you're doing well and you've got investments going on, don't be tempted to then take that money and start spending it on your lifestyle. Keep that money in the property, pay down your debt. That allows you to buy more property as you go along, and over a period of time, you can have an excellent investment portfolio to take care of you and your family over the long term. And again, I'd recommend having a diversified portfolio. So not all the properties in the same building. You might want to have them in the same area. There's lots of different views on that about how concentrated you are, but a good diversified portfolio is always an excellent strategy, so you know exactly what types of things that you're doing and how you're being involved. So just to wrap up, I want to go quick, so we're kind of near the end of our day. Just a really quick little checklist for you to look at as you go along. Then I'll open up for questions. Is number one, define your goals, know exactly what your plan is. What's your strategy? Are you just buying for yourself to live in? Are you buying it for your family long term? one question that I always ask of buyers, and I always ask this question, and with all respect, I always think I get the wrong answer. So the question I ask is, are you an investor or are you buying to live in it yourself? And the answer often is yes. And I say, do you want income, cash flow, or do you want capital gains? And the answer is yes. Well, it's really hard to do those four different things all at the same time. So how you look at a property for you and your family to live in compared to how you look at it as an investment, right? So whether you take a mortgage, which is 70% of the value of the property or 50% or something lower, you want to have it at a level that allows you to have calm and have peace and quiet. And as my brother likes to say, so you can sleep at night. Everyone's financial situation is different. Everyone's financial risk is different. You want to evaluate your own, have a good understanding of what that is, and make sure as you go along, you've got a good advisor in your corner that's helping you out. Just one thing I talked about very briefly at the beginning, I'll just cover it again super quick. Again, when you're looking at if you're looking at purely out investment strategies, if you listen to podcasts about investment, which I listen to a lot of, there's podcasts, great series of podcasts around the world that you can listen to about investing in markets. And there are a million different investment strategies for real estate as you go along. The last 2-3 things I want to bring up, just in the interest of time to keep things moving along for you. You want to build a good team when you're looking to do investing. So whether it's just for yourself to buy a place for you and your family, or you're looking to build an investment portfolio, I'd really recommend you have these types of people with you, right? So you have a real estate broker. I know a company that I would recommend. You want to have a good legal advisor. Again, you may or may not want to use a lawyer. Most people don't, but it's a good idea to talk to somebody in the industry, get an idea of what your legal rights are and legal ramifications. There's not a lot of mortgage consultants in the market. There are a few, but what I would do, if you're looking to buy, you're looking to do a mortgage, go and speak to your bank very early, right? Go to your bank where your salary is, speak to them early, get an idea of what you can do, what you can borrow, and what can actually happen to make it go along for you to be successful in buying that property that you need for the future. As well, one thing, a service that we offer that other companies offer as well, if you're looking to do the investment and you're looking for a property manager, because not everybody wants to deal with what's known as tenants, toilets, and termites. So if you have any problems at all with a tenant, you know that you have somebody to take care of that for you. If you want to do it yourself, you can, but you want to be aware that those things will be coming up over time. Again, you want to speak to a financial advisor. I wouldn't say it's your uncle necessarily, although most people like to speak to their uncle about their financials. Speak to a financial advisor, speak to a financial plan investors. If you're looking to buy and make a quick buck, I don't see that at this market at this time as this is the place for that. But if you're a long-term investor and you're committed, the economic fundamentals of Qatar are unbelievable, right? They're absolutely unbelievable. The sustainability of the country, the financial structure, and how things are being run is outstanding. Zero tax, again, I don't know how you get better than zero tax. I'm pretty happy with that, especially as a Canadian with 50% tax. When people ask me, why do I live here? Well, there's actually a lot of reasons why, but that's a big one, right? I have a friend that I just met, I just spoke to someone back there. There he is, right? A gentleman from Saudi lives in Canada now. I'm sure you're finding the taxes in Canada a little bit different, right? A little bit different now, and the weather. So a lot of good reasons to be here. That's one of the big ones. So again, if you're thinking long-term, I think this is the perfect market. Good long-term plans, long-term development plans. For those who've been here for a while, I've been here, as I mentioned before, for 19 years, and all I've seen is improvement. Improvement of lifestyle, improvement of quality of life, improvement of everything, right? It's not part of the investment scenario, but I'm just going to say this because it's honest. The healthcare in this country is amazing, right? How you're treated, not only as a Qatari national, but as an expatriate when you're living here, and the access that you have to medical facilities is unparalleled. And this is another great reason, if you're looking to stay, you're looking to invest, I think this is a tremendous market to do so. So I'll wrap up with that. Just again, in case you put this in the last bit, again, successful investors in Qatar are informed, prepared, and connected. Remind yourself again, I'm Jeffrey Asselstine, Managing Director of NelsonPark Property and co-founder of Society International. And again, I just want to thank you all for your time and for your attention, and wish you all the very, very best. If there's anything you need from myself or my team, I know we'd be happy to help you. And thank you again. Thank you.
Hopefully that gave you something to think about, and Enjoy your week, and if you need assistance with any of your real estate needs, get in touch with Nelson Park Property at nelsonparkproperty.com.